Tyler, you just faced one dominant player in Aaron Dahlman. You get another one here coming up with T.J. Watt. What are the keys when you face not only a good defense, but someone who has the ability to wreck a game like that?
Yeah, very aware of him. Last time I suited up against Steelers my rookie year, so played against him before. Obviously, that was a while ago, but he's obviously a great player. They got many great players over there. So I mean, it's going to be a good defense. It's going to be a good challenge for us. Obviously, we're got to be aware of him, and we will be. So try to eliminate him as much as possible.
You've been in a couple of weather games. Chicago a couple years ago comes to mind, but you've got a stretch here where it might not be great in Pittsburgh and Chicago and Philadelphia. Have you thought much about it? Do you think much about it?
No, we have been blessed with not having too many cold games. Chicago is probably the only one that I can think of that was just terrible. 5 years in, I think that's it's pretty lucky.
Where would you like to see the offense, take the next step? Like, what's on the to-do list right now?
I think, really, man, just when we get in the red zone, you got to put the ball in the end zone. And we haven't had an issue with moving the ball. Obviously, last game we went 3 and outs, and going for it on fourth down, not converting. But again, this third week, obviously, there's growing pains with it all. But we just, the main thing is getting better each and every week. That's what we want to see. I think this week is, a huge step for us. It's a good opponent, and I think we'll rise to the occasion.
Did you know the flush last week, or is any part of it linger into this week?
You said what?
Have you been able to flush last week, or does any part of that performance linger into?
Oh, you still be, you can be pissed off about it, but I mean the emotions don't really do anything for you going into this week. Obviously that leaves a nasty taste in your mouth, but. Again, we got another opponent this week, a very good one. So, like I said, last week's over.
Tyler, what are some of the growing pains with just kind of learning this new system and only playing in 3 games so far?
I just think there's a, feel aspect of it all. Something you can't really put your finger on, but, just when you've been in a system for so long and the guys have been in it and we all kind of know what each other are thinking and stuff like that, and then you get into a new one, we got to break old habits. We have to, we're learning as the weeks go on, trying to execute at the highest level as we possibly can, and I think that's part of being in a new system. I haven't been in very many new systems, but being in this one, I don't think that we've reached our maximum level of what we're going to be eventually. So,
do you? I know you talked about the footwork a little bit last week. Do you see when you talk about growing pains and learning the system, is the footwork part of it, or are they separate for you?
No, I mean, I don't think that has anything to do with, receivers or concepts or anything like that. That's an internal thing that, I've had to deal with. But, whatever they ask of me, I'll do. So.
We talked to Drew a little bit about the footwork yesterday. He said when they got to Cleveland, they asked them to change their footwork as well.
Yeah.
What did you think initially when he approached you with that?
Just that I obviously know I'd be able to do it, but it felt a little goofy, initially. You've been doing that. Like that's something I could wake up and not even do it in my sleep. Do it in my sleep as far as being right foot up, and then now having to switch to left foot up. It's a little different, but I've had enough reps so far now to where it's becoming second nature. First nature.
When you first had to make the change, how did you practice it? Something you did at home? Is it something?
Try to do it as much as possible, at home. But nothing's the same as far as doing it full speed with the guys out there running routes. I couldn't really get those reps in. So once I got back, that was kind of me playing catch up while I was trying to build back into being starting.
What's the benefit of it? Like, what did Drew tell you, by having that other foot up? Like, why will that help you?
I just think that's something that his offensive tree, how he who he learned it under, and the way he was taught. I think every coordinator or quarterback coach has a different philosophy on why.
Kind of when you've done something for so long, is it hard to learn something new, or do you appreciate just kind of learning a different aspect of football?
No, I mean, like I said, it's not it was new, of course. It felt weird at first, but it's something that they want us to do, so we got to do it.
With the offense, when you ran some version of what you used to run since, what, like 8th grade. Like, is it weird running something new for you?
A little bit, but, you know, that's part of it.
First trip to Pittsburgh, kind of that legendary environment. What are you expecting to see Sunday?
I'm expecting a hostile environment. Fans that, you know, they love football, love their team. You know, I honestly enjoyed playing on the road. You know, I mean, we were taught that in college. You know, just being road warriors and going into, you know, another place and winning. That was something we pride ourselves on. So, trying to, you know, take that to the league, man. It's really a mindset. You know, obviously it's gonna be fun though. It's gonna be fun. You know, you don't get many chances to be in environments like this one. You know, and I've never been there. Well, I mean, I have for a college game, but just in the league, I'm sure it's gonna be a sight to see. You know, so got to go in there and execute.
James telling you anything about it?
Yeah, I mean, he obviously spent a lot of time there. Just talking to him about how special, you know, his time there was with the guys that he got to play with, and just how they did things. So.
James is a guy who really cares. Obviously, you know, we know what he brings on the football field. What's he bring? How can you put into words what he brings off the field?
You know, me and him, I mean, this is his 3rd year here. We've gotten closer every year. So one of my good friends, probably one of my best friends for sure, a guy that you can count on and off the field. Experienced a lot in his life, you know, so he's a very smart, intelligent dude. But just to be able to bounce things off of him, you know, back and forth, and then, you know, be out there on the field with him. It's nothing like having a guy next to you or going to bat with a guy that, you know, he's got your back. So that's it's definitely a great feeling.
When he's running it physically and breaking tackles, how much does the offense, the team itself, feed off of that sort of mentality?
I mean, it's huge. You know, it's huge. You know, there's times where the run might not even be there, and he's creating stuff. And that kind of happened Sunday. You know, he was creating, and he was getting off early in that first drive. You know, we gotta do more of that. We gotta give him the ball, so we'll be good.